how have you been able to get past last week and move forward in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, just reflection and just looking at everything for a day or so, and then really just diving into Talladega and trying to look at ahead, and I feel like there's never a truer time to embrace, 1 week at a time than now, and just really trying to dive into the details of this weekend and see how I can do a better job in the draft. And so far, I feel good about my preparation and feel like last spring was a good race for us. So I mean definitely some a couple days kind of stewing on it a little bit, but then get past it and move on.
How much did you focus on going back and looking at what happened and trying to make sure it doesn't happen again versus just getting past it and moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a freak deal that it's very hard to go back and be like, how does this not happen again? I think that Monday morning quarterback, had I known the situation and what was happening, you can say, oh, would you react differently? Would you go right? Would you slow down quicker? Whatever. But in the moment, there were no signs that was happening. So in a split second like that, once you realize it was too late. But when you go back and that that's going to happen, it's a lot different to evaluate it and look at it. So you have to make sure you're not too critical of yourself in that instance, because you didn't have any expectation that was going to happen, and that's why it played out the way it did, and that's why it was such a violent crash, because it was they were inside the car. There was no sign, there was no wave, there was no difference in line. Just looking at the closing rate and seeing him start to slow down, I maybe could have realized that sooner, but that's all Monday morning, when looking back that's going to happen. So in the moment, I saw a car, I thought he missed the bottom, and I thought, man, and then as soon as I realized he was slowing, boom, it's too late, and tried to miss him left, and that's why got a little sideways and on the brakes. But once I knew he was slowing down, it was I was maybe 4 car lengths back. So just a very, very tough situation, but I've moved on from it and feel really good about this weekend.
Bob Parker's Fox Sports. I assume it was probably just bitterness over what happened last week. So how do you get over it? Like, is it golf? Is it talking to somebody? Is it listening to music? Like, just how do you get over such a frustration?
Yeah, it's actually wasn't bitter. I was just probably in a bit of shock, is what you guys saw after the race. I was just like, I just couldn't believe. Like, I mean, we do this so often. Like, we pit so often. We do these things. It's so routine, and it was so not routine that time, and the result was not what I expected. So I think that was the emotion was shock. But then during the week, it's just how do you dive into next week? Yes, there are things I do off the track that get my mind away from the sport, but it's really just do the things you've been doing, the routine you've been doing, and it doesn't just go away like in one day. It just kind of slowly, as we get towards Sunday, it's like, hey, we got another race Sunday, and it's time to get going here.
You, I think, typically give off kind of this mellow, cool vibe, and along the lines of what Bob was asking you, what you said you did your typical things. How do you get over such a disappointment like that? Because you're kind of a steady Eddie anyway, but how do you process that, and is that also a result of the maturity that you have racing in the series, that you don't like something like that really mess you up?
Yeah, I just think I don't really show the emotions that I'm feeling at the racetrack, because I'm trying to process them as well, and I'm just a very introspective person, and I feel like that kind of perspective comes to me throughout the week. So I do that on my own time. I don't tweet about it. I don't talk to you guys about it, but I do all that work internally and amongst people that I trust. So all that goes on. It's just maybe not, you don't see it right after the race. So I obviously do that processing as everyone needs to.